This is a follow-up video to the others that I was showing about adding good compost to soil and what happens to a garden. And this is the 8th of January, so this is now 1 week later than when we shot the first video. Trying to get about the same angle as I had before, and you can see that the things are really growing much better. Of course, we've had a lot of rain, and that getting that heavily soaked soil has helped. It's happened the last yesterday and today. We've had quite a bit of rain, so that's why you can see it's really wet. But you can also tell that the plants are doing much better. I believe that it's easy enough to see that the plants that have the good fertilizer on top of it, the good mulch and everything, have snapped up pretty good. Now there's this one over in the corner has done very well, so I can't just negate that totally. It in particular has really matured quite a bit. This onion over here, or leek, I think it is really sprouted, and now that is within that compost area. These onions have done very well. They just look healthier to me. They're just much more green and vivid color than these that don't have the compost. And these two pepper plants have done extremely well compared to this pepper plant that doesn't have any compost on it. So the celery over here is, I can't say as it's done massively better one way or another, but it does seem to be better. I think the best color for the celery is over here. I mean, that's the darkest green, but then, you know, that's not neither here nor there as far as color. It's, are they growing, and are they strong, and the roots good, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to move around here to the other side real quick and show it from this angle, because we had also another video that I'd shown a bit of here before putting in the compost. And I think from here it's easy to see that certainly this one has grown. It's trying to take seed over here. The two pepper plants have really jumped up, and I think it's pretty simple to see here that these onions, I think the color just looks better and the thickness is better. Now these were all planted on the same day, so and also this one here, well, there's two of them, and they're in the middle of where we had added some compost, and I think they've gotten a little bit of, you know, the goodness out of that. And I think it's hopefully you can see in the video that the color of these are better than these are. And so I think it just proves pretty much adding good compost never hurts, and it's always a good thing. And you can see in here there's quite a bit of rock in this compost. This came actually from the bottom of our compost pile, where there'd been a lot of rock and gravel fall through. So we're going to have the kids go through and pick out some of that gravel. A little bit of it never hurts in your soil, and so I'm not too worried about it, but it's got a little bit more in there than I'd like to have. So we're probably going to go through and have the kids pick some of that out. But we only saw that after we had real heavy rains, and the compost is washed down a little bit and the rocks stayed on top. So it's interesting that we now see rock a lot. The rest of the garden, well, I'll just show real quick. Our tomato plants are doing pretty great. We need some framing up around that now. These have just popped out over the last couple of days, and the zucchinis are starting to kind of take in the center of it. So we're going to put up a big arch over there and tie everything up through a trellis. Yeah, thanks, neighbor. Wow. So we can see that the mulch has done a pretty good job. So that's pretty important. Make some good compost, add it to your soil. Even if it's poor soil, you probably do a lot better. A quick little look over here too before we jump out. We can see the cilantro has started really coming back over here on these two. This one is trying to come back. These two that don't have any mulch are not really, they might make it, but we're going to go ahead and put mulch in all the place here and fill all this up and put some good compost, and we're going to see if we can recover those as well and get this whole garden back to a healthy environment. We know the stuff's working well because we've got plenty of pretty plants over here because we use our mulch and compost in this all the time. So it's just sad we've lost our time to having bad compost. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Lots more videos coming.